Welcome, ladies, back to Fit Club Remote. You are here, you are working, you're gonna exercise, you're gonna check that off your list today. Isn't that exciting? Let's start with a warm-up. We're gonna do a little side-to-side tap here. Oh, man.
The next workout will begin.
I love a good checked off to-do
Please
list.
proceed to a station.
Does it ever happen? Not for me, but I imagine it must be nice. Good. Keep that chest nice and open. Beautiful. Pulling that belly button into the spine. And today the equipment you're going to need is a pillow and or a squishy ball and a pair of hand weights and or water bottles, soup cans, a dog, a baby, whatever's going to provide you a little bit of weight for you to lift. Good. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do some high knees. And I'm going to have you bring your feet a little bit wider. Good. Now my attention span is short and I've had 2 cups of coffee. So we're going to play with variety today. Essentially, every couple of sets, you're going to change things up a little bit. This is officially set 1. Good. We'll still be working the same muscle groups, but we're going to change the kind of exercise for that muscle group. For example, the quad exercise from the thigh. We'll do 2 sets of one exercise, 2 sets of a different exercise. Beautiful. And of course, I will be providing modifications. So if for whatever reason one of the exercise works really well for you,
Stop exercise,
and the other one doesn't, let's go into a hamstring curl. Bring it back. Then just stick with the one that is good for your quads. To that end, I'm essentially going to teach the modification first,
begin set 2,
which everybody will do, and then I'll follow it up with a more advanced move. Good, let's add a little jab here, and get that breath going. Now, I was running a little bit late this morning, which means usually I like to finish my workout and then have like 15 minutes to kind of cool down and take a breath and drink some water and stop sweating. That didn't happen today. So I just finished my workout like 8 minutes ago. Beautiful. So I'm already really warm. I just got to get all of you caught up to me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and we're going to shift our weight up onto the toes, hands in boxing position. You're going to shift right and then left.
begin set
right
3,
and then left. The whole torso is shifting over, and let's pick that up. Good. Now you notice I'm not actually leaving the ground. This is the low impact version of a boxer shuffle. However, if you feel like you want, try something a little bit more advanced today. You can come into a high impact boxer shuffle. This is going to be harder. Soft landings, of course, as always. Hands up. And for set 4, we're going to keep this shuffle going. Low impact or high impact. And we're going to add some jabs. Beautiful. In 4, 3, 2, right, left. We'll take it right, left, right, left. Very good.
begin set 4,
Beautiful. Sort of gentle here. We're not throwing too much power into the shoulders. 1, 2. Keep that core tight. And 4, our set 1. We're going to grab our pillow / squishy ball. And we're going to find a place next to a wall or the back of a chair that will help support our balance. So just get ready for that.
stop exercise
Ooh,
and switch to the next
I'm definitely
station.
warm. I hope you're as warm as I am. We're going to grab ball or pillow. We're going to stand next to a wall or hand on the back of the chair. You're going to bring your right leg into a 90-degree position. Ball squished right on top.
begin set 1,
Soften up the supporting knee, and you're essentially going to pulse your knee upward. So pulse, pulse. You essentially are not really pushing down with your hands so much The hand is just there to provide a little bit of resistance. Good. Now we've got the core working. We want to keep our hips nice and even so we're not sinking into one side. If you want, you can challenge your balance by pulling your hand away from the wall. However, if this is going to make it so that you can't get any reps done, I'd rather you just keep your hand on the wall. Whew, and you should start to feel a little bit of burn in the top of that quad. I'm going to come on over to the other side so you can continue to see me. Of course, if I was just at home, all you have to do is turn around. 90-degree knee,
Set 2.
ball on top. You pull the knee up and into the pillow or ball, pulsing all the while. Keep that supporting knee fairly soft. Good. Beautiful. Now, if this feels good for your knees, and if you have, especially if you have sensitive knees today, you're going to stick with this, simply doing the right side for set 3, left side for set 4. However, if your knees are healthy, we're going to try a lunge / split squat.
Exercise.
Just a stationary lunge. So we're going to start with the right leg forward. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Back toe is not turned out. It's turned in the same direction as the front foot, and the heel is picked up off the ground. And you're going to come down into
set 3.
90 degrees with both knees, making sure that your torso is right on top. Place the ball on the right quad again, and this time you're going to press your hands into the ball. So the body, it's not moving much. We're not really pulsing up and down. We're squeezing, squeezing. Now, as you squeeze against that ball or pillow, I want you to keep that core really nice and tight, and your left booty, the one in the back, is squeezing so that your lower back is nice and supported.
Exercise.
Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead, come all the way up. We're going to switch on over to the other side. So I'm just going to face the other direction. Again, both toes pointing in the same direction. Back heel popped up. Weight in the heel
Set 4.
of the front foot. The knee should not be past the toe like that. Get down low as you can, and then you press against the ball. Squeeze. Good. All right. Now, this is set 4. And at the end of set 4, we're going to come on down to the mat for our core work. Starting with plank.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
All right. So first plank we're going to do is an elbow plank. And we're just going to hold it. Very simple. Elbow directly underneath the shoulder. And of course,
Begin set 1.
tuck that tailbone underneath you. Back is nice and flat. Booty is engaged. Hips are right in line with the rest of your body. Upper back is flat. You're not bowing in the lower back. You're not over rounding through the shoulders. That's no good. And if you're anything like me, you're sweating. Oh, so attractive. Ladies, you're here to work.
Exercise.
Good. Now, take your break if you need to. I'm going to take my break. I'm going to make a little adjustment right here. Make sure that I can see me and all of y'all can see me too. Okay. Beautiful.
Begin set 2.
Same thing. But we're going to change it up for sets 3 and 4 because that's just the kind of day it is today. Tailbone tucked. Belly button in. Nice and tight. Booty squeezed. Now, sets 3 and 4, we're going to be working on a side plank. So for people who have sensitive shoulders, you'll stick with this, a front plank.
Stop exercise.
Beautiful, knees down. Okay, so turn over onto your side. We're going to begin with a modified side plank. That means bent lower knee, You're not hinging at the hip. The butt isn't back like so. You want to be nice and stacked, one straight line, and up we go into our side plank. Now, if your shoulders are like not in pain, but they get tired really quickly, you can drop your hips, take a little break, then come back up again and just repeat that movement. If the modified side plank here is too easy, you're always welcome to give me full, like so. But no matter what you're doing, hips are stacked, legs are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and chest is open. Very good. Other side. We're approaching set 4 right now. At the end of set 4, so we're gonna grab our pillow / squishy ball one more time.
Begin set 4.
And up we go. Beautiful, straight lines. Good. Belly button in, shoulders are down, away from the ears, booty is slightly squeezed. That's gonna help keep those hips forward so that we're getting all down the bottom of that waist. If you need your little break, go ahead and take a little break. If you're ready for a full side plank, go ahead and give me one. And at the end of set 4, we're gonna grab that
Stop
pillow
exercise
/
and switch
squishy
to
ball,
the next station.
and we're going to place that behind one leg. So you're gonna come to your hands and knees. Pillow is behind the knee of your right leg. You're going to come up, and the first thing you're gonna do is pulse the heel up to the sky. Now, if your wrists are sensitive today, you are more than welcome to come down to the elbows. You do want to make sure that your hips are not opening. You want nice, even hips. Lower back is not bowing. You're not getting the height from a curve of the lower back. You're getting a height from an isolation of the glutes. Good.
Stop exercise.
We're not going to take a break. Set 2, instead of pulsing up, you're going to pulse that calf against the ball. Now this is going to feel a little bit different. If you need to drop your knee a little bit, that's okay. But the pulsing up and down,
set 2.
that's all glute centered. This squeeze here, that's going to be more hamstring. The back of that leg should be burning by now. Probably a little bit of burn in the supporting leg as well. Back is flat, and make sure those pulses are slow and controlled. No bouncing. Bouncing often causes a cramp reaction because your muscles are like, oh my God, this is unfamiliar movements. Oh, there's the break. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip around, face the other way, just so you can see me. Obviously, you don't have to do the same. The pillow is going to go behind the left leg this time. Squeeze the calf in just enough to make sure that that pillow doesn't fall away. And we begin with our pulses. So when we do unfamiliar movement, and we do it quickly or abruptly, the body will often react with a muscular contraction, a quick one. And a lot of times, your body's doing that because it's trying to protect you from overextending muscle. Ironically, this is what causes pulled muscles a lot of the time. So when we approach any new movement, or really any movement at all, we want to make sure of the control. Good. We're not going to take that break. Instead, we're going to keep that knee high, and we pulse the heel to the butt. Here's the hamstring. Burn in. Burning.
Begin set 4.
Beautiful. All right. At the end of set 4, it is time to put the pillow to the side. We're going to turn over onto our back. And we're going to grab our hand weights before we do. So, pillow discarded, grab your hand weights, lie down on your back. We're going to work chest. belly button in. Again, hips stay nice and even, back is nice and
Stop
stable.
exercise and switch to the next station.
And you come out of it with a lot of control. All right, so I'm gonna grab sixes. And we're gonna begin with some chest press. So we're
Begin
gonna
set
stay
1.
on our backs, all 4 sets, just so you know, but we will be changing up the kind of presses that we do. Right now, we're doing a full chest press, full range of motion, elbows come out wide. Start with the weights over the sternum, not the chin or the nose. That is gonna help with the shoulders, gonna keep them down, away from the ears. Make sure too that the weights are always right on top of the elbows. So basically that means they're not falling backwards, they're not falling forwards, they're not falling in, and they're not falling out. You always have perpendicular forearm. Set 2. If you don't like this wide chest press, you're gonna give me a narrow chest press.
Begin set 2.
Everybody who has healthy shoulders is gonna join me right here. Now, this is essentially gonna show us which chest press your shoulder prefers. If you have any shoulder impingement or injury, and basically after you've tried both, you can stick to one or the other for sets 3 and 4. And actually, if this narrow chest press doesn't work for you right now, you can just go ahead and switch right to the wide one. But I'm gonna stick with narrow, because my shoulders might be getting tired, but they're definitely
Stop exercise.
okay with this. Good, all right. So we're gonna take a quick little break. Drop those elbows, drop the weights to the floor. We're gonna go into a pulsing chest press. So this is going to be narrow or wide, your choice. I'm gonna start with
Begin
wide.
set 3.
And you're gonna pulse right at the bottom of your range of motion. Now, a lot of times I see people doing kind of big pulses, or they'll be doing their pulses high up off the floor. I want you to hover your elbows just above the floor, and the pulses are only an inch at a time, and they're really slow. You're essentially always in this wide working position. It's gonna start to burn, hopefully, if it's done correctly.
Stop exercise.
Beautiful. Slow pulses, teensy pulses, and anyone who would like to, you're gonna keep going and bring those elbows in close to the waist, a gradual shift. Now we're in a pulsing, narrow
Begin
chest
set
press.
4.
And it's gonna start to burn. Beautiful. Now, if you want to, one fun little distraction is to do a bridge while you're doing your pulsing chest press. Keep those glutes squeezed. Good. And every time you press those weights up, you're kind of thinking about squeezing your glutes together.
Stop
Without using your
exercise and
elbows
switch
to do
to the
so,
next
just
station.
muscular. Good. Woo. Drop those elbows, drop the weights, drop your hips, rock your knees back and forth. We're gonna go into triceps next. So, goodness. We're gonna begin with the weights directly over the
Begin
shoulders,
set 1.
all the way down and all the way up. All the way down and all the way up. Nice and slow, full range of motion. And you can keep going while I itch my nose. Now, we're working the back of that arm, and perhaps you may have already felt, if you were doing the narrow chest presses with me, you may have already felt some tricep work there. And here, we're compounding on
Stop
it.
exercise.
Good, so that was set 1. Set 2, we're going to change this up just a little bit. You're gonna give me a 90-degree bend in the elbow, and you're gonna go down all the way to the ears, and then up to only 90. Down. And up.
Begin set 2.
Good. Now, if your elbows don't care for this, you can go ahead and give me full range of motion, just as you were before. But This is challenging, so I encourage you to try it. I always encourage you to do the challenging thing. Woo! Now this is burning my triceps. I already did upper body today. That was my workout right before the Zoom. So this is burning a lot. Good. Keep it going, you got this.
Stop,
Breathe.
exercise.
And take a break. All right, set 3. We're gonna do the opposite. There you notice we went all the way deep only to half. Now we're gonna go only to half all the way up. So this one isn't gonna be as challenging.
Begin set 3.
But what it is gonna do is ensure that we get more reps. If you have a sensitive elbow, this might be the one for you. Just less of a bend. Good. 1, 2. 1, 2. Really? Oh my God. You're really keeping that pace going. Beautiful. Keep that belly button in. You got this.
Stop, exercise.
And I'm going to take a break here because I need it. Now, set 4, your choice. You can do full range of motion, lowest to half, or half to high. I think I'm going to do
Begin
lowest to
set 4.
half, even though that's the hardest one. Lowest to half. And y'all can watch me in my pain and know that I am right there with you. Ugh. It burns. It burns so good. Keep that belly button in. Don't cheat like I just did. I just rested the weights on the floor. Oh my God.
Stop, exercise, and switch to the next
Okay.
station.
We're gonna give your arms a break. And let's do some abs. So hands behind the head. We're gonna keep the head down for the time being. Let's bring the legs all the way up. Now your lower
set
back
1.
should be flat on the floor. Notice I have a soft bend in my knees. I don't need stick straight knees here. Now we're just going to beat, beat, beat. Go ahead and actually flex your feet for me. And you're just giving me toe to heel. Toe to heel, toe to heel. 1, 2. Now, you can stay right here. This should already honestly involve a lot of your lower abdominals, just to keep that lower back down, to keep those legs up high. However, if you want it to be a little bit more challenging, you can drop your legs slightly.
Stop, exercise.
Good, I am gonna have you take your breaks every time here. Hug those knees in, stretch out the lower back. Ignore the burning that is continuing in your arms as we go into set 2. Set 2 is gonna be the exact same thing.
Begin
Bicep,
set
feet
2.
flexed. Toe to heel, lower back is down. Core is nice and tight, and then if you're ready, you go into your more challenging pose. Now, if you can only do this for a couple of seconds, and you need to kind of pull them back up and bring them back here, that is okay. If you need to bend your knees a little bit more and keep your feet close, that is also okay. This is good for anyone who has lower back issues. But I'm going to take that challenging position once again.
Stop, exercise.
Good. Let's go ahead, place the feet slowly on the floor. Give me a nice, gentle little hip bridge. Good. And we're going to go into something a little bit different for sets 3 and 4. Legs at 90 degrees.
Begin
This
set
time,
3.
Hands together in a steeple position. You're going to extend one leg out as well as the arms overhead, and then you're going to come back to center. Similar to a dead bug, but not the same. Good. Both hands and extend and come back in. Now the limbs are moving away from each other at the same time. It's like an accordion. A lot of times I see this where people kind of match the movement. Not that there's anything inherently dangerous about that, but we are looking for
exercise.
that full extension of the abdominals. Now, if you can keep going here, go ahead and do so. Now, if your lower back is sensitive here, you're always welcome to place one foot on the floor and then switch every time.
Begin set 4.
Or you just don't have to extend that leg all the way. Keep it a little bit smaller like this. But no matter what you're doing, your belly button is pulled in really, really tight and your lower back is flat. If your shoulders don't like the overhead reach, it is okay if you keep your arms here. It's not gonna take that much away from it. Beautiful. Gorgeous. At the
Stop
end
exercise and switch to the next
of
station.
set 4, which is right now, you're gonna grab your pillow one more time. We're going to do a pulse of the inner thigh. You're going to grab a single weight. We're gonna work some shoulders.
Begin set 1.
So this is a shoulder pullover. A shoulder pullover is different from a tricep extension because your elbows really aren't moving all that much. Your elbows are soft, but they're really stable. All the movement is coming from right here, from the shoulder. Give me a nice solid squeeze of that ball. And we're starting to engage the inner thigh. Good. Now the shoulder pullover, we're going to keep going all the way through. You'll notice my range of motion.
Stop exercise.
Going all the way overhead. Feel that work moving into the rear deltoid and then to the front deltoid here. I want you to think about your upper abdominals and your rib cage. The rib cage itself, it likes to kind of extend up off the mat. Your job is to use your abdominals and keep that rib cage pulled in. Hard squeeze on the ball. Do not forget about the ball. Beautiful. Now, if your shoulders are sensitive and you don't care for this one, give me just a smaller range of motion. You'll just go from here to here and move slowly. However, if your shoulders are healthy, you're still moving slowly with a lot of control, but we're just going all the way through. And you're doing your very best here to keep those shoulders from being pooched up toward the sky. You want to sort of drop the shoulders back into the socket. And for sets 3 and 4, we're going to add back in some abs. You're going to pull those knees in. I'd like you to lace your ankles together and squeeze the ball hard.
Begin set 3.
The legs themselves are not moving back and forth like they were in the ab movement we did earlier. All they're doing is squeezing the ball, but your abs should be really tight. My knee doesn't like me crossing the ankles too much, so I'm gonna uncross my ankles. Not the end of the world. Inner thighs are burning because you've been doing it for 2.5 sets. Again, belly button's down.
Exercise.
Beautiful, here we go. We're approaching set 4. Man, this is the definition of endurance work, baby. Good. And at the end of set 4, you're gonna put the pillow back to the side.
Set 4.
You're gonna give yourself a little lower back stretch, and then you're gonna turn over onto your tummy. We're gonna work the back. Specifically with something called Superman, which I believe I've taught maybe once before. Now there are a few levels of doing Superman. I will teach the most basic one first, and then sets 3 and 4, I will add the more advanced move.
Stop exercise.
Ooh, my inner thighs are
Your
on fire.
training is now complete.
Oh, I thought we had one more. I was wrong. Isn't that nice? It's better to be pleasantly surprised. Let's pull the knees in, lower back extended, and you're just gonna rock back and forth, giving me a nice lower back stretch. Good. Go ahead and very gently place both feet on the floor with a bent knee. Get your weights out of the way if you need to. And then you're going to move your feet slightly away from the butt. You're going to keep the feet together and just let the knees drop open to the sides. Because you did all that inner thigh work. Now this is just a nice hip opener. And you think to yourself, good job. And you think to yourself, I worked hard. And you think to yourself, that's one thing off my to-do list. What does that feel like? Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring your hands up to a steeple position and exhale as you bring those arms all the way overhead. And just try to allow your thumbs to touch the floor. Feels good. Very, very nice. Now you're going to take your left hand, you're going to assist your left thigh up and over to meet the right thigh as you roll to your side and come up to say hi. Who do we have? Oh, Holly. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. And Miss